Aloha, everyone. My name is Timothy Chiu. I'm the Economic Development Specialist at DBET. Welcome all and good to see you all again for the fifth topic for the China webinar series. If you are looking for more information about the webinar series, please go to Invest.Hawaii.Gov and go under the Exporting tab. Before we start the webinar, I would like to go over some housekeeping items. All participants are muted upon entry. If you have any technical issues, please send us a message by using the chat box. If you have any questions for the panelists, please feel free to leave a message by using the Q&A box, or you can push the raise hand button. I will give you access to speak and ask questions directly. Just keep in mind, all the questions will be adjusting at the end during the Q&A sessions. And lastly, the webinar will also be recorded for future use and playback. So now I would like to introduce Jamie Lum, the Manager of Business Development Bench at DBET, to brief us the High Step program. Jamie, please.
Aloha, everyone. And thank you all for joining us today for another series of our China Market Seminar. I just want to give you some brief information about our High Step program, which stands for the Hawaii State Trade Expansion Program. Our High Step program is supported by a grant from the Small Business Administration. And the goal of the program is to help Hawaii small businesses that want to either start exporting or who have been exporting but want to expand. We have several components of the program, which include what we call our export readiness series, of which this seminar is part of it, where companies can learn more about topics related to export or topics or market specific information. We also have various partners that we work with, federal, state agencies, as well as nonprofit organizations that help companies, advising them as far as putting together an export development plan. So we partner companies with these organizations. We also help to support Hawaii pavilions, which are groups of Hawaii companies that we take to go into selected trade shows. And then we also have our final component, which is our company assistance, which companies can apply to us for financial assistance to help them implement parts of their export development plan. So that's just a brief overview of our High Step program. I encourage you to go to our website, Invest.Hawaii.Gov, and to go under the exporting tab, and you can read about the program. You can also, I encourage companies that are interested to register for the program. There's no cost for that. We just want some information about your organization. And if you have any questions, my contact information is on our website. So again, thank you very much for joining us today. And now I'd like to turn the program over to Gordon Zhang, the head of our Beijing office.
Aloha, everyone. Nice to see you again, and welcome to our fifth session of the webinar series. And today's topic is e-commerce in China. And I am sure that this is a very interesting topic because we see more audience registered for this session. And we have honor today to invite 3 speakers from China. And they talk about e-commerce from different perspectives. One is Liu Ma. He is going to talk about the general outlook or general situation of e-commerce in China. And then second, we have Yolanda. She is working with one of the largest e-commerce platforms in China, JD Worldwide. That's Jingdong. And then third, we have a lawyer again to especially address the concern of our audience about the intellectual property rights and how you are going to handle this issue in China. And well, my name is Gordon, and I think some of you have known me already. And today we, besides myself, we also have Flora, who is also working with me in the Beijing office. And the DBAT Beijing office was set up years ago to help Hawaii businesses to reach the Chinese market. We have been doing since the inception of the office. We have done focused on different areas of the Hawaiian economic sectors, from tourism to trade to education, and now we are doing this these sessions of webinars to help Hawaii businesses to tap the possibilities of exporting agricultural products to China. And first, well, let me introduce our first speaker, Mr. Liu Ma. Liu, he is the CEO of Beijing Zhongdu Agriculture Science and Technology Company Limited. He got his bachelor and master degree from China Renmin University and MBA from Tsinghua University. These two are among the best known universities in China. He used to work in Sohu.com. Sohu was among the first search engines in China. And he worked there for 10 years. In 2015, he set up a tracking and tagging system for agricultural products using genomics and blockchain technology. The system has since then covered more than 200 primary agricultural products. He's now focusing on applying science in agriculture. And if you are concerned with well, IP issues, how to protect the IP of agricultural products, Liu is a good source for information and help. Now let's invite Liu to give us a presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. Wait a minute. Wow. My computer had some.哎呦，
是打不开了，找不着文件了。
我的这个电脑他妈的一下出了好多有点，稍等啊 ，sorry。我能够，你们先聊1分钟，我能重启一下吗？不好意思。
Okay, he has to reboot his computer. Well,
Gordon, maybe you can introduce the second speaker.
Okay. Well, while we are waiting for Leo to reboot his computer, and we take this opportunity to introduce our second speaker, Ms. Yolanda Yin. She is the Business Development Manager at Jingdong Worldwide. I think most of us have heard of Alibaba more. I believe that, because you know, AliExpress is very popular among American buyers and shoppers. But Jingdong has been along with Alibaba for many years, and now is the biggest tech company in well, probably the third largest tech company in the world. And Yolanda received her bachelor degree in Beijing Foreign Studies University. And then she studied marketing in the University of Autonomous University of Madrid in Spain. And before she joined Jingdong, Yolanda worked in the field of marketing and branding for many years. And now she is dedicated to bringing more overseas brands to the Jingdong platform. Well, about the Jingdong company, and I'm sure that Yolanda will give us more detailed information about their services and what they can do for our Hawaii exporters. If Liu is not ready yet, shall we invite Yolanda to speak first? Liu, are you ready? And if you are ready, please turn on your microphone. 你的话筒
好了吗
OK 好了
Okay,
OK
sorry.
Liu.
Okay. What's the best way for Hawaii agricultural products to enter China? I will address two practical questions. Question 1, what routes are available for Hawaii agricultural products to enter China? Question 2, what effective business operations are required in China? Before I talk about the issues of Hawaii specific, let me make a brief introduction on how a foreign agricultural product enters China, its processes and logic. From here, we can see what operations are required for Hawaii. Agricultural products are broadly classified into two categories. One is called primary agricultural products or fresh products, such as fruits and vegetable, fresh meat, etc. The shelf life is very important, and it will go bad after a short time. The second type is called agricultural sidelines or packaged food. An example of is Chilean and Australian cherries. They hottest fruits in winter season in China. The fruits enter China through the two routes, air or sea, of course. After arriving in China, these goods will enter large wholesale markets such as Jiangnan Market in Guangzhou, Xinfadi in Beijing, and so on. Then comes the secondary distributors. Those include the supermarkets, smaller secondary distributors, and e-commerce platforms. The role of e-commerce in China currently is mainly for direct sale. For primary agricultural product, it requires finding a buyer in the shortest time, and the supply chain must be perfected in order to make money. For packaged food, it's easier to handle. Packaged food has a longer shelf life, such as Hawaii honey and coffee. Let's look into some key scenarios in the above two-step process. The first is the organization of the supply chain, include how the goods enter China and what does the logistics and customers clearance. After arriving in China, should the warehouse be placed in Shanghai, Guangzhou, or directly air transported to Beijing? Hainan is also a good choice. The second scenario is to sell. E-commerce platforms, self-media, KOLs can play a role here. Let me focus more on China's e-commerce platforms. Agriculture e-commerce platforms are divided into three broad categories. One is comprehensive, Taobao, Pinduoduo, Tmall, and Jingdong. Second is the called vertical platforms, which specialize in food or fresh food. Fresh Daily, Mr. Hema. The third broad category is fast-growing social media platforms, which are group leaders. TikTok short video KOL. In terms of payment model to the platforms and KOL, there are largely two ways. The first is the marked up model. Large e-commerce platforms such as Jingdong and Hema tend to use this model. Note that KOLs usually take this model too. The second mode is the service fee model. You can deem it as rent for using the platform. But anyways, after the goods reach China, it requires a team to connect with those platforms one by one, chat, open a store, and ship after the customer placed an order. Take Hema as an example. Hema is very similar to traditional supermarket. They buy from you and your products will go to their warehouse. They process an order online and deliver the goods to your client. With Daily Fresh, it is really the same. At present, there is a very popular model in China called community group buying. In fact, the essence of community group buying is to allocate the marketing expenses originally given to the media, to the leaders of specific organization. These people build groups on the internet. They introduce products face-to-face with customers in the group and become friends of users so that they can promote and sell them well. Fund these leaders and let them sell Hawaii agriculture products is also an important work for building up a channel. In fact, e-commerce in China can be understood as you have high quality products and need to put in accurate advertising. In the United States, or before the emergence of e-commerce, people are through the form of advertising to obtain their customers as well as sales. E-commerce platforms comparing to traditional advertising can bring about the greatest value for marketing budget. The same is true for agriculture products. China has more e-commerce platforms than the United States, and the competition is fierce. Besides supplying products to the platforms such as Jingdong or Hema, you need to team to do supply chain management, marketing, and advertising. For those successful foreign sellers of agriculture, no matter they are from Europe, Australia, China, or Canada, they basically employ the same model and route. That is, have a local team to do supply chain management and marketing. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. And I would like to spend 1 minute to do a recap what he just talked about. Well, basically, he introduced us to three different different types of e-commerce platforms or channels. The first one is a comprehensive platform like we have today with Jingdong. And then the second is vertical distribution channel platforms. Maybe you are not familiar with these names, but well, if once you start to come to China, you will get to know them very soon. And the third one is third channel is social media, and also he mentioned quite a few names which you don't have to remember now, but just to have an idea that there are three broad categories for e-commerce. And then he also touched upon three subsidiary subjects. One is business model, how you work with these platforms. And the second is he stresses the importance of supply chain management. Here, he said that, China is still very much different from United States, where drop shipping is very popular. And if you buy online, we know that everybody knows that's fulfilled by Amazon, which is not so much popular in China. And that's why he stressed to emphasize that, supply chain management is the key, one of the keys, or probably the most important key in this whole e-commerce business in China. And then thirdly, he emphasized on how you should make a budget for advertising and where you can spend them. Okay, let's, while you are listening to the second presentation, you can also think of, questions you have for Leo, and we will address these questions after all the speakers finish their presentation. Now, second, I've done the, introduction of Yolanda, and also you can check all the bio of our speakers from DBAT website. Now let's give the floor to Yolanda. Yolanda Yin, please. Your microphone, Yolanda.
Hello. Okay, I will share screen. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yolanda, and I'm the BD manager of JD Worldwide. Today, my presentation is about the cross-border retail solutions offered by JD Worldwide, the gateway for international brands to reach the Chinese market. First of all, a general introduction to the platform. JD ranks the 102nd on the Fortune 500 list of 2020, marking the 5th consecutive year on the list as the largest retail and internet service company in China. We have been growing stably over the last decade. At the moment, JD has over 270,000 merchants and more than 417.4 million users. We have established strategic partnership with Tencent, Walmart, and Google. The former speaker has mentioned some of our main business competitors, and I would like to say that the characteristics that make JD different are mainly 2 points. The first one is our infrastructure. I will explain it in detail later. And the second one is our zero tolerance policy towards counterfeit goods. Customers trust our platform because JD is a guarantee of authenticity. So JD has unparalleled speed, and all thanks to the technology behind the system. We have the largest e-commerce logistics infrastructure in China, covering 99% of our country's population. More than 90% of our orders are able to delivered on the same or the next day. And we are the only e-commerce platform in the world to provide small to medium-sized warehousing, oversized warehousing, cross-border cold chain delivery, frozen and chilled warehousing facilities, B2B and crowdsourcing logistics. JD is developing cutting-edge technology solutions that enable consumers to buy whatever they want, whenever and wherever they want it. Now we are also opening our technology and infrastructure to brands, retailers, and other industries as part of our retail as a service strategy. JD Worldwide plays a key role in JD.com's strategic route to internationalization, dedicated to providing Chinese consumers with products from overseas. Launched in April of 2015, JD Worldwide has been a leading cross-border e-commerce platform in China. From September 2016, we opened our cross-border logistics service to third-party merchants on our platform. And we have created our own promotion event called Haitun Day. Since our opening, we have attracted over 2,500 high-quality overseas merchants and more than 20,000 brands. We offer 10 million SKUs from over 100 countries and regions to our consumers. With enormous growth in Chinese consumer spending power, high-quality products from overseas are becoming our consumers' favorites. And we have specialized regulatory policies that reduce import barriers and provide more flexible channels for overseas brands to enter China. Also, we have simplified supply chain requirements and preferential tax policies to reduce the costs. Thanks to all the positive background above, Chinese consumers have been embracing the cross-border e-commerce. Both the transaction scale and the number of users have been growing tremendously. There are two main ways for import trading, the traditional way and the cross-border e-commerce. In comparison with the traditional importing, doing business via cross-border e-commerce has the following advantages. First of all, the preparation time is less because the brands do not have to register the logo, the brand in China mainland. We can just accept the documents from overseas. And then the taxes are also reduced. There is no tariff, and the other taxes are also discounted. To let Chinese consumers ship without borders, we welcome brands and products of all categories: maternal and infants, nutrition and healthcare, personal care and cosmetics, electronics and watches, household and kitchenware, food, car, accessories, fashion. So we are really having all these categories and we welcome brands from all these categories. There are two main collaboration modes with JD Worldwide, which are direct purchase and marketplace. The former one consists in JD.com sourcing products directly from suppliers and then selling them directly to consumers. And this mode is mainly open to well-established, reputable brands with operations in China. The second mode is the marketplace. In this case, the brands retain ownership of their inventory and are responsible for the operation and sales performance. It is applied to all the brands legally registered in its own country. And also different store types can be chosen according to the needs. We have brand flagship store and we have multiple brand store. JD Logistics supports the merchants and brands on JD Worldwide by providing two business modes. The first is import bonded warehouse mode. Foreign goods could be stocked up in JD's domestic bonded warehouses, which could effectively shorten the delivery time. And also the second mode is overseas direct delivery mode. In this case, goods will be sent directly from JD overseas warehouse to the consumers. This business mode could help our clients to greatly lower the burden of inventory. We understand that for new brands to enter the Chinese market, there are a lot of pain points that should be conquered. For example, the difficulty in operation, in marketing, lack of data. So we have this JD Worldwide Service Union to offer one-stop service of cross-border e-commerce solutions for overseas brands to tap into China's market. With the help of JD Worldwide Service Union, the brand provides the necessary materials, and then our third-party service team will coordinate all the other work, including basic daily operation, and then planning strategy, marketing, and also social media, KOL, advertising, and so on. To work with JD Worldwide Service Union is very simple. We will connect you with our third-party providers. We'll offer you several choices, and you can pick the TP company that fit you best. And then the TP company will help you organize all the materials for registration on JD Worldwide. And then they will work with you in all the planning and strategic planning, and also advertising, marketing in each process of the operation of the store. The data is essential to the operation. Below, I will give a brief explanation of the consumer portrait of JD Worldwide for all of you to understand better the consumers of the platform. Female consumers play a leading role on our platform, accounting for more than 55%. The purchase frequency of female consumers is nearly twice as much as that of male, presenting a trend of rapid growth. So although JD started its business from electronics, computers, mobile phones, but for JD Worldwide, for the foreign goods, we actually have more female consumers. The consumers between 26 and 35 years of age account for more than 60%, and they have very strong consumption power. From 2018, the generation after 90s account for nearly half of the consumers, contributing nearly 1/4 of the sum of consumption. And our consumers are mainly from the senior intellectual group of first-tier cities. 98% have senior high school background or above. We have various shopping festivals on the platforms throughout the year. There are 2 dates that are most important, to which overseas merchants should pay attention. First of all, the 18th of June, which is the birthday of JD. And then we have Double 11, also known as a single day in China. Besides these 2 shopping festivals, we have other activities and events throughout the year. Here you can see some examples of our partners from around the world, and we would love to add your logo also on this page very soon. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Yolanda, and very impressive. And actually, while I was listening to your presentation, and actually I came up with a question I will ask you later. So I'm actually very impressed by the delivery thing of Jingdong. I've been using Alibaba for quite a long time, and then once you start to use Jingdong, and really they give you carefree services especially in delivery. And Jingdong has been a very proactive or aggressive in opening up the international market. And for example, Yolanda is herself is a multilingual. Besides, she speaks, of course, Mandarin Chinese and then English, and she also speaks Spanish and Italian. And so Jingdong hired a lot of people like Yolanda to work in this department to expand their presentation in other countries. And also for your information, JD is also a listed company on the NASDAQ. And so besides the name, at least that we have alternative service providers in China, a very established company. All right. If you have questions, please, go over in ahead, and then we will have a question and answer session later. And our third, let me see. Our third speaker is let me see, Wang, or by Chinese name Zhiyong Wang. He is the executive partner of Beijing High Law Partners law firm, and he is attorney at law in China and the New York State Bar, contract researcher at University of Political Science and Law of China. And he specializes in IP litigation, IP administrative and customary protection, and IP assignment. Mr. Wang worked in China's Supreme Court for 10 years as a junior judge. That's well, among all the lawyers we invited, he is the only one who served as a judge, and in the Supreme Court of China. And he was chosen to handle IP issues in the World Trade Organization representing China. And he was also involved in amending China patent law and drafting IP-related judicial interpretations for the Supreme Court. Well, Mr. Wang got his master degree in laws in Yokohama National University in Japan, and master degrees of law in University of Hawaii at Manoa. So that's background brings him more closer to our audience. And well, he also went to East-West Center as a guest scholar. And since 2018, Mr. Wang set up a fellowship at UH Law School and supports UH fellows for an internship in China for each year. And I know that some of his fellow students or fellow researchers are listening in the presentation. And well, since John is deeply involved in the IP protection space, and let's hear what he has to say, and then we'll ask him questions later. Please, John. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Gordon. Aloha, my friends. It's my honor to share some of my working experience here on e-commerce in China and IP protection. In my presentation, there are four parts. Firstly, I would like talk about a little bit about the IP protection situation of e-commerce platforms in China. Then I would like to introduce some about China IP enforcement system. Then I would introduce an example like the Alibaba IP protection platform. Of course, Jingdong is doing as good as Alibaba, but I would like to take Alibaba as an example here. So the last I would introduce some new law renovation, in China, and we found 2 internet courts in China. So, I would like to introduce this system to my UH Law School fellows. I guess they are here. So I would like to take this opportunity to introduce some about the internet courts here. So okay. So first, based on the business models, and we can divide the business of e-commerce into a few categories, like the C2C and B2C or B2B. And for the C2C, because most of the operators of the online shops are the individual entities or the small businesses. So they are kind of lack of the IP ideas. So we can find more infringements, IP infringements in these C2C platforms. So Taobao is kind of this C2C platform, but it is already the middle, between the C2C and B2B. But we tend to classify it into C2C because there are more individual entities or the small business of the operators. So we can find more infringing in this platform. For B2C, like Jingdong and Tmall are like such kind of business model, because there are large businesses who are the operators behind the online stores. So they put more efforts on the IP issues. So so we can see that there are less infringement in B2C platforms like Jingdong and Tmall. There are also some other platforms like B2B, like Alibaba's groups 1688 and Alibaba.com, because some of the products are only sold out to the big companies or to the big businesses, factories, or the other manufacturers. So it is quite hard for the lawyers to collect the evidences to prove the infringement. So this is Alibaba.com. So that is the IP protection situation for the major e-commerce platforms in China. And next, I would introduce some about China IP enforcement system. In China, China is quite different from the US. China has just one jurisdiction, mainland China. So we have the unified patent law, trademark law, copyright law, and anti-unfair competition law throughout of the mainland China, not like the US. The US, there are 50 states, and each state has its own laws and enforcement system. So we are quite different. So when the right owner of IP faces the infringing conduct, he can choose to file the lawsuit before the court. We call this the channel of civil litigation. He can also choose to file the complaint before the administrative organs. We call this the channel of administrative enforcement. So he has the option. Of course, he can choose both of them, but each of them has its own merits. Like the civil litigation, the right owner can get the damage, but not for the administrative enforcement. The administrative enforcement only grants the injunction and maybe some, maybe a ticket as the penalty, but no damage to the right owner. And if the infringement is very serious and the illegal business amount reaches the criminal stand, then the right owner can report this to the police and invite the police to initiate the criminal proceeding. So then that is a big fight, you know. So here I would like to, I would like to introduce some cases, I ever handled for my clients. And so here, I have been the legal consultant for a dozen of international companies. And like this one, German SATA is one of them. I have been the legal consultant for this company for nearly 10 years. This company, just and manufactures their products, all of the products in German. So they in Germany, they exported the products into China. China is the second largest market for SATA, besides the US. So and this company products are very professional, and the spring gun, very professional and with good quality. German products are quite popular in China. So honestly, and I'm the legal consultant for them. So I can say that, and the SATA is making a lot of money in China. Then the copycats are coming, and from the mainland China. So they are copying SATA's brand. They are copying SATA's patents. So that is why they hire me to represent them to fight with the infringers. So then you can see, in the left side, the marks are the real brands for SATA, and the right ones are the fake ones. And the infringers are very smart, kind of smart, and they use the confusing the logos. It's very similar. They're very similar, and like this. And my client's brand is SATA, S-A-T-A. So they use this one. It's not A, but common people may think it is A. And there is one more letter, I. So very confusing. And last year, we located an online shop named Hongyun on Taobao platform. They introduced their brands as Sate. And my client's Chinese name Sata. So yeah, very confusing. And their brands SATE, TATA. My client's brand is SATA, so SATA. So you see, TATA, SATE. So they are trying to confuse the consumers to buy their fake guns. And one buyer responded that the quality is very low and they are cheating, do not buy. So we were doubting that this online shop might sell the fake products of my clients. And if they use TATA or SAT, it is kind of the civil litigation because the brands are just similar with ours. It is not identical. So it is a civil litigation problem. But we doubted they may sell the totally same product, a totally same brand product. So my team offered to buy a piece of a spring gun from this shop at Taobao. When we receive it, when we received the gun, we were surprised to find that it is totally same with ours. You see, and the same brand and the same appearance, identical appearance. So this one is our genuine one. So when you see the photos and maybe they are identical, you cannot tell the difference. But when we touch them, then, especially for me, I have been working as the legal consultant for this company for 10 years. So I know the difference when I touch the gun. So again, the gun is a fake one. Then we reported to the police in early 2020. Then the police went to the factory behind this online shop and to check. And they found more infringing products, you see, and they were making the fake guns, the spring guns, you see, and the packaging box, totally same with ours. And even they have no any brands on their product, so they can post any brand maybe you want. You see, the left one is ours, and the right ones are the fake ones. Then 3 weeks ago, and we got the criminal judgment, because the police, and prosecuted this guy, Mr. Li Chuang, to the court because it is quite serious. It is very serious infringement. So this guy was sentenced into prison for 1.5 years. With my, in fact, with my suggestion, my client Sata took the civil settlement with this guy and accepted the civil compensation and extended the understanding letter to the judge to forgive this guy. All the Mr. Li would have been sentenced a longer term. So we just want to give him a lesson instead of, and destroying him or his family. So we are quite kind. In fact, and compared with a couple of years ago, and the IP protection situation here in China is much better. I can say that because, and I was the IP lawyer too in 10 years ago. So now it is better. Okay, next part. So and I would like to talk about the matters of the and IP protecting matters of the e-commerce platform like Alibaba Group. And as we discussed before, and when the infringing is found on e-commerce platform, we can choose the civil litigation channel or the administrative enforcement channel. Or if the infringement is serious, then we can report this to police to start the criminal proceeding. Of course, and we can also choose to file the complaints to the platform of e-commerce. They usually set a web page or a kind of platform to take such kind of complaints from the right owners. So we call this a takedown request. So Alibaba is a large e-commerce group. It owns the quite popular platforms like Taobao, Tmall, or Alibaba.com. In the past, there were many infringing all the fake products in Alibaba Group, but the situation is much better in Taobao. After 2015, that year, Alibaba started to establish the IP protection platform to take the complaints from the rights owners. And they also took many, a lot of measures, like, and requesting all of the stores to register their own trademarks. So they should do the business with their own brand. If they sell the products with others' brand, then they should have the sound license. This is the web page for Alibaba Group IP protection platform. So I heard, only this IP protection platform is maintained by over 100 employees. So you can see Alibaba is putting a lot of money on IP protecting. So they are paying more attention on IP. So they would respond in 24 hours after someone filing the takedown request. So Alibaba needs to review the complaints bill, to check and judge, to contact the owner of the targeted online shop, and to give a preliminary decision. Of course, the owner of the shop can appeal in this system. So if the infringing is confirmed, then the link will be deleted. The link of showing the product in this platform will be deleted, but no damage. No damage granted because the Alibaba had no such rights to grant the damage. Of course, and the Alibaba cannot, the Alibaba will not shut down the whole store, only delete the specific infringing link. But it is still very good, I think. So this page is some records I ever filed the complaints into the this platform, the IP protection platform. And there are many successful cases. So I think they are doing very good. They're doing very good. So Jingdong, and is doing as good as well as the Alibaba group. And Jingdong is my favorite e-commerce platform. So they're doing good. Just similar, and then I would like to talk about some internet cards. So as the e-commerce in China developed so quickly in China, so China built two special cards, Hangzhou internet cards and Beijing internet cards. Hangzhou is the city where the Alibaba Group headquarters is located. And Beijing, is the capital of China, and also owns the Jingdong e-commerce platform. So they are taking the strategy of online case heard online. So we file the case, we submit the evidences, and we attend the court hearing all online. So in person is not necessary. So the internet courts accept the disputes arising from the online contract through the e-commerce platform, such as you ordered an iPhone. Oh, thank you, I got it. Such as you bought an iPhone from the Jingdong app, but you do not receive the iPhone, then you can file the complaints before the Jingdong, or you can choose to sue Jingdong in Beijing internet court online. The internet courts also accept the cases related with the contracts of online service, like assume Microsoft Office, and Microsoft in China, Microsoft Office is located in Beijing too. So if Microsoft software does not work well, so then you can sue Microsoft in Beijing internet court. And it is more efficient, it is more it is easier, and it takes much less cost. So conclusion, honestly, China is working on the way to make IP protection more efficient, more powerful, and is making it better. Okay, that is my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. And I think our listeners got a lot of things to digest through this presentation. And well, if you directly hear from a judge and a lawyer from China and who had a background in Hawaii, and you feel a little bit more secure about the IP protection issue in China. And we are glad to know that China now have 2 internet courts, one in Beijing, one in Hangzhou. Hangzhou is the city where Alibaba sits, and that's very encouraging. And I think throughout our webinars, and this is the last one, we have a lawyer. And if you have further questions, please prepare. And now we enter into our Q&A session. And I noticed that there are some questions coming in, and some of them being answered already. And the first one is very, well, Michelle Yamaguchi again, thank you for raising questions. Well, what percentage of your business, and this is addressed to Jingdong, to Yolanda, is direct purchase versus marketplace? Let me see. Well, I do not see the answer. Well, Yolanda, have you addressed this question already?
Yes, I have answered it already. Not sure why you cannot see it, but I can say the answer right here. Well, the percentage, it really depends on the dimensions of business, how you see it. For example, if you see the dimension from the dimension of the richness and variety of the products, well, the marketplace is dominant. We have more different kinds of products in this mode. However, the sales volume for direct purchase is larger, but they are mainly of concentrated brands and specific products. So that's the answer. We would encourage new brands to first choose marketplace mode because the entering barrier of this mode is much lower, and the brands can decide the marketing strategy and they can control the prices. When the new brands begin to gain popularity in China and some of its products become extremely popular, we can do both ways with direct purchase of their most popular products and then marketplace having all their products, and we can do different pricing strategies. So these 2 modes are applied to different stages of the development of the brands, and we cannot say which one better. You should find the one that fits you best. Thank you.
Thank you, Yolanda. Actually, well, now we touch upon this subject, and I said that I have a question for you too. Well, you know that drop shipping in North America is very popular, and some of our speakers told me that we cannot realize the level of service in drop shipping in China. That means that the seller, if they contact, for example, if a Hawaii seller contacts you, can you do reach the level of service of drop shipping the same as in the US, or as some of the guests told us that a Hawaii company has to have a team to handle all the issues of custom clearance, the certifications, and etc. Or they can just contact you, and you can do all the services.
Well, as I mentioned, we have JD Logistics to take care of all the shipping procedure, including drop shipping. So I'm not sure if you are asking about the infrastructure of logistics or helping brands match distributors.
Well, I mean everything. If I buy something on Amazon, or if I sell something on Amazon, as long as Amazon give me green light, then I don't have take care of everything. I just ship the goods to Amazon warehouse, and they do all the documentation and the certification.
Yes, JD Logistics help the merchants to help them with all the documentation when they pass the
Okay, thank you. That
about the
clears
warehouses.
my personal question. Thank you. I hope our listeners have the same question too. Well, the second question raised by Rob Park, can we get copies of the presentations? Yeah, our speakers may have a lot of information in there. Well, Tim, I should say yes.
Yes, all the PowerPoint and video will be uploaded to the website Invest.Hawaii.Gov, and I will send you out the link in the Q&A box, so you will get all the PowerPoint and the video playback in the website.
Okay, our next question is also from Bob, from Rob. What is the cost? This is a question is addressed to Yolanda again. What is the cost of Jingdong compared to Amazon or Rakuten? What is the cost of Jingdong? Well, Yolanda, you get the question?
Yes, and I have also answered the question. Well,
Okay.
our costs consist in 3 parts. The first one, we have fixed platform fee. It is charged $1,000 per year for each store. And then we have this commission from 2% to 8% depending on the category. Last but not least, we have a deposit to guarantee the quality of the goods and of the services. This deposit is refundable. We charge $5,000 for each flagship store. And when the store is closed, we'll refund this part.
Good, clear. And that next question is from Randall Mao. Typo correction to earlier question. Does your company also have the capabilities? Does your company also have the capabilities of getting a US supplement approved to be marketed in China and shepherding this product through the food and drug process? This neuroceutical is a natural occurring marine compound that is synthesized and now marketed in the US that will manage one's inflammatory health, which has been the driver of many chronic diseases. Well, Yolanda, I don't see your answer here. You answered this one already?
Well, I asked if it's a health supplement or it's OTC or prescription medicine, and I got the information that it is one of the products from GNC,
Okay.
and antioxidant. And I think we are already working with GNC directly in both direct purchase mode and also marketplace mode. There are, as I mentioned in my PowerPoint, there are 2 ways of import trading. JD Worldwide is doing the cross-border e-commerce mode, and I think what the question is about the traditional way, because he asked if we can help them pass a process of food and drug. We do not require this in cross-border e-commerce mode, but for the traditional mode, yes, the brand should have the certificate of CFDA, but that is not our working area. I can help this person to get in contact with our other department, but JD Worldwide is doing cross-border e-commerce, and we do not need this certificate.
Okay, I hope this answered your question. And I don't see any more. Well, I noticed from Tim that somebody raised a hand to ask a question. Are you still there, or you want to raise a question in voice with any of our speakers? Please, please ask Tim to give you to turn on your mic. Yes, this is Joyesh Mushroom. Please turn on your mic. Your mic is still turned off.
Oh, I think he left. He left the chat. Yeah.
Okay. Seems no more questions. Okay, well, dear listeners, if you don't have any more questions, then we close our session today. And we look forward to seeing you next time on 29th of December for our next webinar on the topic of let me see, the social media promotion in China, and which is also a very exciting subject. And so we call it a day, and we would thank all our speakers for your time and devotion to our Hawaii audience. And we wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Mele Kalikimaka, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Aloha.